We are in studio with the man. Is it Patrick Brady?
Yeah,
Brady?
Patrick.
Patrick
Let's
Brady.
go with Patrick.
How come you keep the Patrick? Like the full... Is that Irish?
Well, it's Irish, yeah. Okay. So my full name is Patrick Michael Brady. Okay. And I like the Patrick because I have an Aunt Pat. And, dude, for me, Pat sounds sweet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like my Aunt Pat. And then wasn't there an SNL skit?
There was Pat, the one nobody knew if it was a girl or a guy.
Yeah, exactly. So, I'm Patrick. Let's get this straight.
Sabatini.
Let's get this straight. Wait, does he go by Pat?
Of course he does. I think he does. I call him Pat.
Yeah, he's Pat.
Yeah, he goes by Pat.
He's going with Pat.
We don't know what he is.
There you go.
I'm
going to stick with the Patrick then.
As soon as we're jumping on the podcast, we're immediately going to talk shit about
we're going
Sabatini.
at him right away. That's not cool.
Might as well start hard. Brother, thanks for coming on, man. It's been
no
we've been talking for a while now, trying to set this up.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
So it's definitely great to have you on. So I haven't seen many of your fights, but I did see the clips from the last one because I think everybody saw it.
Yeah.
You took down a tower of a man.
Yeah.
And you're not small yourself.
Yeah.
So what was that like? Did you win a belt or something? Gabby was trying to argue with me earlier that you had a belt around you.
Well,
I didn't see a belt.
Well, no, there was no belt around me after that fight, that particular fight. But there's previous photos with me with a belt.
So you're doing the bad research, Gabby.
All right.
How did that fight go?
So that fight was in Manassas, Virginia. It was against this kid, Raiden Keller, who's, like you said, a big kid. He was, 6'6". I want to say he was more 6'7".
Yeah.
And I think in previous fights he had maybe had some trouble making weight.
Okay.
So I think he weighed in at 260, maybe just shy of 260.
What's the cutoff? 265?
265 is the max at heavyweight. And we went down to Manassas, Virginia for this fight. It was me, Chris Daukaus, Will Martinez, and Matt Turnbull went down there.
White chocolate?
Yeah, white chocolate. My man Matt. He's a good kid. He's got a fight coming up October 30th. But we went down to Manassas because... So I was supposed to do that fight for Art of War. What happened was I fought May 22nd for Art of War, and I fought this kid, Gavin Nickel, and Raiden Keller, the kid who I just beat, fought Ian Austin. And I was going to fight the winner of that fight.
Okay.
And we were hoping it was going to be Ian, actually. If the stars aligned the way that we wanted them to, it was going to be Ian.
Why? Because he had a better record or something? Or
no, because Ian and I had fought previous to that. So my fight previous to May 22nd was against Ian, and it ended in a draw.
Oh, so you were going to go for the rematch, basically.
Yeah, so we wanted to set up that rematch. And Ian and I, we get along. He's a Gracie kid, so he trains over there with those guys, with John at UFC and Daniel. And Ian and I, we're very cordial. We get along. We're both respectful.
So you guys wanted to kind of settle the score and kind of figure out.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. And I think we both wanted to shake the rust off because neither one of us had fought since May previous to that. So it was April, May 2020, right? When did COVID hit? March 2020, right?
Yeah.
So it was May previous to that. And so we were both... we both wanted to shake the rust off a little bit, but the way that it worked out is we reached out to some opponents. We reached out to Raiden as a potential opponent for myself. Mm-hmm. We reached out to Gavin as a potential opponent for myself, and Gavin responded right away and said, "Yeah, I'd love to fight you."
Okay.
And Raiden took some time to get back, and when he did, and he said he'd accept the fight, at that point I had already given it to Gavin because he had said he wanted it. So Ian also wanted to fight, so Ian ended up fighting Raiden.
Gotcha.
And, unfortunately, he lost via triangle in the first round. Mm. Ian did. So what happened next was Raiden declined the fight against me for Art of War in Pennsylvania. His reasoning was he wanted... So just to get off the get it out there, I'm an amateur MMA fighter, right? Mm-hmm. I'm not a pro, so I haven't made that jump yet. So there are certain things, rules and regulations that I have to abide by as an amateur.
Yeah.
In Pennsylvania, as an amateur, advanced or not, you can't use elbows on the ground or anywhere, and you can't kick in the head.
Right.
Raiden wanted to be able to elbow me and kick me in the head, none of which he did in Manassas, but he wanted to be able to do that. Whatever, dude.
No.
Yeah.
I can only fight in a different state because I want to be able to do this.
Yeah, exactly.
Or
Yeah,
not.
so whatever, dude. So he was saying he wanted to be able to use this particular set of weapons. And so it's funny, too, because Andre Petrowski, he started talking shit. Because, so Mike Bickings reached out to Raiden's coach and offered him the fight for Art of War as the Raiden being the number one contender. So I'm the heavyweight champion for Art of War. And Mike reaches out to Raiden and says, hey, look, you beat Ian. Let's set this next fight up. Raiden says. So Raiden's coach goes, no, thank you. We don't want the fight because we want pro rules. And then he interjects and throws in there. But also, we think Ian really deserves the fight because we watched the fight between Patrick and Ian.
And think that Ian won?
And we thought Ian won.
Of course. Yeah.
Yeah, so he starts talking a little bit of shit in
of
there,
course.
right? So Bickings is my boy, and he sends me the screenshot, like, not knowing that, like, I was going to hang on to the fact that this dude was talking shit. He was just kind of letting me know that he declined the fight.
Yeah.
And, like, of course, I zoned right in on him talking
The
shit.
fuck do you mean he won?
Yeah, exactly. Like, so, and at the time, I was actually sitting there with Petrowski. He had been over my house for dinner, and we were sitting there. I'm like, yo, look at what this dude just said. And he jumps right on Instagram and starts outing this dude. Like, what do you write? He like took it. I sent him the screenshot and he like put it on his story and was like, he even tagged the dude's gym. It was like, where does he at Bauer House? He's like, your fighters are scared to come up and fight, and then you talk shit like whatever, doing his Andre shit. So he starts talking shit. And then it went back and forth, and they were like, no, we're not scared of fighting, Brady. We just want to use these particular rule sets. So, cooler has prevailed.
Yeah.
We ended up taking the fight for Cagezilla, which is a promotion down there in Virginia. And, it ended up being a good promotion. Like, it was organized. They had a good production. They had a nice cage, and
do you worry about that stuff when you decide to fight? Like, do you want to have the best experience possible? Is it because you want to look best, or because you want to protect yourself? Like, what goes through your head when you're thinking of what promotion you want to fight in?
I mean, really. So I've only ever fought for Art of War previous to this. And honestly, like, I think I've just been focused with Art of War because Mike and Deb have been so good to me, right? Like, a little bit of my backstory, I had never trained MMA or jiu-jitsu, like, ever, previous to August 2018. I'd never been on a mat, never done any Muay Thai, no wrestling experience, nothing. And I'd done a small boxing event, and someone at that event was an MMA fighter for Art of War, and he was talking shit, and he said he was tougher than me because he was an MMA fighter, and I was just like this silly.
The old dispute.
Yeah, I was just this silly.
But now you know that MMA is harder than boxing, right?
Yeah, he would have wiped the mat with me at that point.
You know for how many years I debated people? Like, before I watched MMA.
Yeah.
I debated it because I grew up watching boxing. My grandfather was, a trainer.
Yeah.
I boxed at Joe Frazier's for years. Like, to me, that was the shit. Like, MMA is like, all right, but a boxer's going to outbox you and fuck you up.
Yeah.
Oh, boy, did I not know what I was talking about.
Yeah, you're right. It's funny. I've had that same argument in, like, bar, sitting on a bar stool. Like, it's the the guy who just lacks the knowledge. He just doesn't know.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And when
You need to learn.
you find out, like when somebody gets their hands on you with some jiu-jitsu or some good wrestling,
yeah, you're fucked.
You realize it right away. It's instant. You're like, oh shit, I'm fucked.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When like a Petrosky.
That's why I'm not gonna let anybody ever do that to me.
Yeah, when like a Petrosky or a Kyle Daukaus gets his hands on you and puts a fucking darce on you, you're like, what is happening? You know, but as a boxer, like you learn to navigate like when you're in danger, when you're in trouble. I had done some boxing. It's funny you mentioned Joe Frazier. I was at a gym in Chester. And I was there with at the time, my boxing coach, Anthony DeGalbo. And they were like, oh, champ's coming up. I'm like, who's the champ? They're like, Joe Frazier. So there was this old freight elevator. And he had, like, come up the freight elevator. And I just remember standing there watching. And, like, the top, like, raised. And there was, like, 3 gates. And then here comes Joe Frazier, like all decrepit.
I was gonna say, did he have the limp and the 8 gold rings or whatever the fuck?
I didn't see all the gold rings, but he definitely had the limp, and he was real decrepit. And he was just, I think there was like maybe half a dozen of us in the gym at the time. And he came walking around, and I was punching a heavy bag. And my stance, my front forward was always out real far. I thought I was faster than I was maybe. And he comes up to me and goes, oh, you're too big, you're too strong, square up more. Go straight at him. I'm like, yeah, you would say that. You know,
yeah.
Like, and
just the body frame, just more.
Exactly.
You know what's funny? But that's what they taught. I remember specifically that's like everything was here. And
exactly.
there was a guy named Val, yeah, short, old, super old black guy that would hit me so fucking hard in the chest with his bare hands, just to show me he kind of like with a very short distance, like if you're here, and you. And he would smack me in the chest and I'd be like, oh, got it. And I'd be like, motherfucker, I got it. Like, you know, at this point, I'm like probably like 17 years old or something like that. And I'm like, I feel like I'm being abused by this old man. But yeah, that was kind of their style.
That's cool. Yeah. So he's like, you know, I got Joe Frazier standing there with his hands on me, squaring me up, you know, because I was out here. I was real long. I thought I was like, I don't know, like Tyson Fury or something.
Yeah.
At the time, he wasn't Tyson Fury, but you know, I thought I was real long, like I could get in and out, and he's going, square up.
Did you keep that? Did you keep that style, or did you abandon it?
No, my coach was like,
Joe Frazier.
No, my coach was like, look, he doesn't know you. I know you. I know you're faster than. Yeah, he was like, I take that, put it in your bank.
Take the memory.
Yeah,
save
take
it.
the memory, put it in your bank. But this is how you're going to stand, and
you
know that's how we train. So, but that was pretty cool, you know, Joe Frazier.
Yeah.
So I had done some boxing, and then I was doing a boxing event at that time, and the guy was talking shit, and so I'm like, all right, well, fuck it, I'm going to do MMA. And I reached out to who he had fought for. I said, who's your contact? Who's your promoter? He gives me Mike Bicking's number. I call Mike Bickings. I'm like, yeah, I want to do MMA. Like, never had done MMA.
Yeah.
And he's like, do you have any jiu-jitsu experience? I'm like, what's jiu-jitsu? Like, what is jiu-jitsu? Is that like, what are we talking about here? And I meant it.
Yeah.
What is jiu-jitsu? Like, I've never heard of the Gracies, never heard of anything. Don't know what you're talking about.
This is what year?
2018.
18.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't know what you're talking about, dude. And so he's like, yeah, if you want to fight MMA, you're going to need to learn some jiu-jitsu. That was in August of 2018. So I reached out to, at the time I was living in Ridley, I reached out to Quintella MMA. And Alex Quintella, you know, he brought me into his gym. And I talked to Mike again in the very near future since that conversation. He said, look, I'm putting on the show in October. If your coach signs off on it, I'll let you fight. What a scumbag.
Yeah, I was going to say, wow.
Like, dude, I've been training jiu-jitsu for 2 months. And
he's like, you're going to have to learn jiu-jitsu in order to do this right. 2 months later.
Yeah.
How much jiu-jitsu you do?
Yeah.
Couple weeks?
Exactly.
All right, you're in.
Yeah, you're in. Like, get in the cage, right? And, yeah, that's what happened, man. I got
a scumbag.
No, I love Mike. He knows I can talk shit. So I got in the cage and I fought my first time ever doing MMA, having had been on the mat for 2 months.
How was that experience? First of all, did you win?
No, I lost. It was my first fight ever and my first and only loss.
Okay.
So it was against this kid Mark Cobinson, who was 1-0, and he had a wrestling base, and
he puts you against a wrestling based guy too? Not a striker? Nice, awesome.
So I think he was like, all right, this kid's gonna sell some tickets. He's got a good physique. He's a good looking kid.
Yeah.
And
The other guy?
No, and he's like, I'll put him in a cage. Why not?
Yeah.
And so Mark took me down a couple times, and I didn't know how to get up. You know what I mean? I did get up, actually. I got up twice, but I don't know how to. I didn't know what I was doing. I was just
survival.
Yeah, exactly. And I got up. He didn't do any damage. Never punched me one time. Literally landed no punches the entire fight, but took me down and held me down for a long enough time so that the judges are looking at it and they're like, "Hey."
But that's a loss for you. But that's encouraging because you're like, all right, wait, I got it. I can do it. I just need that foundation.
Exactly. So, quickly after, I think not even 6 months later, I took another fight, a little more jiu-jitsu. I didn't use it because I knocked a dude out. Mike Evans, I caught him with an uppercut. I broke his jaw. I was told his jaw was broken. He had to go and get his jaw wired. I don't know that to be definitely true. Sorry, Mike Evans. But
please DM us and let us know how many straws you needed to eat your food.
Yeah, so Bickings told me his jaw was broken. He's actually fighting October 30th. Mike Evans is on this next AOW card. So
obviously 2018, that's very recent.
Yeah.
I want to know how we get to 2018. So can we start in the beginning?
Yeah. So previous to me
growing up, where did you grow up? What did you do?
Yeah. So
you have to have played sports.
Yeah, for sure, man. So I grew up in Collingdale and Collingdale Bulldogs. I grew up playing football, the blue and orange, Collingdale Bulldogs. From the time I was 5.5 till the time I was up into middle school. Played in middle school and then played at Academy Park High School. So growing up in Collingdale, always played football. I came from a messed up family. You know what I mean? There was a lot of childhood trauma in my family, and a lot of drinking and drugs and just crazy shit. I didn't even know my real father. I didn't meet my real father until I was 18. Till I was in high school. And it was a tough, rough childhood, real rough childhood. And the only thing I had was football. It was really my saving grace.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of parents that were on that football team that kind of reined me in, kept me. My younger brother, he's a rough kid. He's from that neighborhood. That neighborhood. Sometimes those kids end up a little different. It's just a different type of.
How many siblings did you have?
So, like I said, I mentioned I didn't meet my real father till I was 18, and when I met him, I come to find out I have 2 brothers and 2 sisters. How crazy is that? You're 18, all of a sudden you find out
you got a big family.
You got 2 brothers and 2 sisters, and then previous to meeting my father, I had 2 brothers on my mom's side.
Okay.
So my mom had 3 boys with 3 different guys. The 80s were crazy. The 80s were wild from Mama Jack. And so my older brother Rob, who ended up living in South Jersey with his dad.
Okay.
And then my dad wasn't around, and I lived with my stepdad. So it was tough, man, because my stepdad was abusive and stuff, and we if we did something wrong, we stepped out of line, we got a beating. It was he was this old school Italian dude, and it was a tough childhood growing up. And then
is he still around?
He actually just passed away this week. It's funny you mentioned
this week.
This week he just passed away. Yeah.
How was their relationship?
It was broken. I hadn't seen him in a long time. I haven't seen my stepdad in a long time. Look, man, you reap what you sow. So it's hard to say anything bad about him right now because he had just passed.
Yeah.
But he burned a lot of bridges and he treated a lot of people a certain particular way, and he died alone. You know what I mean? And it's tough to say, but if I learned anything from him and him being my stepfather It's how not to act. You know what I mean? Because I have 3 boys myself. So
I was gonna say I can only judge from what I see on your socials, but you seem like dad first. You're a dad first.
I mean, look, I'm a lot of things, but first and foremost, I'm a father. You know what I mean? Then I'm a husband. Then I'm an employee, and then everything else after that, like MMA, jiu-jitsu, everything else comes after that in that particular order. You know what I mean? And but like growing up as a kid through high school, like we were crazy. Like in high school, I was a crazy football player. Like we got thrown out of my junior prom. We had bottles of Absolute Mandarin in the limo. Remember Absolute Mandarin? You drink that recently?
I didn't. No,
Yeah,
I try to stay away from that shit.
Yeah,
but,
we would drink the Absolute Mandarin.
we would do the Bacardi lime or Bacardi Limon or whatever.
Bacardi Limon. Yeah.
I'm Puerto Rican, right? I go Bacardi on.
Yeah, we did that too so we would do the Bacardi Limon with the Wawa lemonade, and then we would do the Absolute Mandarin.
Which, by the way, now that you're a grown ass man, you know that like that's simply too much sugar to mix with alcohol. If you expect to be fucked up, that is the way to do it.
Terrible. Yeah, so you know that was like my high school life. It was like drinking, and then like I had gotten a DUI my junior year in high school. I drove up the mountains and got into a fight with a bunch of guys, and that was a whole nother experience where like I tried driving home. I crashed into a tree. Park ranger found me dead on the side of the road, up the mountains. You know, by the grace of God, he found me on the side of the road, and he brought me to a field where they medevaced me from a field to St. Luke's Trauma Center. They lost me twice in a helicopter, once on the trauma table. Yeah, so I got like this huge scar on my face. You can't. I don't know if you can see it, but it starts up
starts
here,
from the top.
Comes all the way down, wraps underneath my eye, across my eye here. I got a bunch of scars here, scar here. I actually have a titanium eye orbital here. Because I got, they cracked me with a pool stick.
Okay, wait, hold on. I'm thinking it's from the car accident. So wait, this is from the fight?
This is from the fight. So I went up the mountains.
Tell me what this night is all about. So you're,
if we're going to talk about this whole night, we got to talk about the night before. Because the night before, I was in Atlantic City.
Okay. How old are you at this point?
I'm a junior in high school. I was 18. Actually, I was 18 as a junior in high school. God
damn.
Yeah, I know I was older.
I graduated older too, but
I
graduated at 18, close to 19.
Yeah.
Maybe?
Well, it was towards the end of my junior year. It was March of my junior year.
I got held back.
Yeah, I had just turned 18, so I turned 18 February 12th.
Okay.
So I was freshly 18, so I was like primed to get my first adult DUI.
Goals.
Yeah, so
that's an old age to be in high school if you think about it, isn't it?
It is.
A little weird to be an adult.
A part of that story is actually how I met my real father. Okay. So I met my real father because in the state of Pennsylvania, you get child support until you're either 18 or you graduate high school, whichever comes last. Yeah. So if you're still in high school and you're not 18 yet, you get child support until you're 18. If you're still in high school and you turn 18, you get child support until you graduate from high school.
Got it.
So whichever happens last. I was 18. I was still in high school, so my mom had to take my dad back into court to get that remaining amount of time.
Oh.
She says, "Do you want to meet your father?" Sure, why not? So I met my dad when I was actually 18.
Did you? I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off.
Yeah, no, it's all good.
Did you want to meet him?
I did.
Up to before then?
No.
And your mom didn't let you?
No, it's so awkward because it's like, I don't know. It was just, it never presented itself. I was never given the option. Like, you know, he has his whole story as to why he didn't want to meet me. And, you know, I accept it for what it is. He's a man, and he admitted that he was wrong and he made some mistakes. And as a man, I made a lot of mistakes, and we can get into that. He made some mistakes, and he made a big one by keeping me out of his life.
Yeah.
And then he made up for it since then. At this point, I've known him longer than I didn't know him.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right,
I'm 37 years old, so, you know, I'm no mathematician, but, right? I've known him longer than 18 years. And, you know, that's kind of what happened there. But go back to what we were saying. I was in Atlantic City the night before, and then
What does one do at 18 in Atlantic City aside from gamble?
no, I was with chasing a girl. I was with a girl up there. We're all drinking. A house party.
Okay.
Somebody had a house party, and I'm like, oh, let's go there. At that age, it's like when you can find a house to drink in.
Yeah.
It's like you're going. You know what I mean? Because
I actually never went to. I was never that person who went to those type of parties in high school.
Yeah.
Plenty of my friends did.
Yeah.
But they would do like the fucking in the woods shit.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
all
we
that type
did
of
that
stuff.
too.
I think I always had this like I don't want to disappoint anybody. Like I want to drink and go.
Yeah.
But I don't want to get fucked. Like I don't want to get caught
In
doing
trouble.
something. I don't want to.
Yeah,
I don't
see,
want to get
that-
like
that-
that was always that outweighed.
Yeah, that's-
until a little later. Then I did plenty.
No, we call that a moral compass.
Is that what it is?
Yeah,
I have one of those.
I didn't have that.
Okay.
I didn't have that. Like, and look, I was up there, and then we went up to the mountains. It was an after prom party, so I went up there and I got into a fight with a bunch of kids from another neighborhood that our neighborhoods didn't get along, and like I said, the accident, the trauma.
But wait, so they fucked you up though? With
Oh,
the
yeah,
pool
they
stick?
fucked
Tell me
me
the
up.
story.
Oh,
Tell
no.
me the story of
So
that.
I don't remember a lot of it because I was drunk. You know what I mean? But from what I was told, to gather bits and pieces of it, somebody had pushed me down the stairs, and then like I was at the top of the stairs. Somebody pushed me down the stairs, and when I got to the bottom of the stairs, I looked up and there was nobody behind me. So I was like, "Who pushed me down the stairs?" And nobody would fess up to it. So apparently, like I don't know, like a drunken idiot, I like punched a hole in the wall and like started like trashing the house. And that's when, and that's when they were like, "Yeah, you're not gonna trash our house." And they trashed me.
And then they dumped you, or you
No.
then got in the
So
car
they
and
were
drove?
like, no, they beat the shit out of me, and there were a couple girls there that like felt bad. So like they were trying to protect me, and like I was beat up like bad.
Yeah.
And what I'm telling you is all what I've been told. These are
Yeah.
bits and pieces. I don't remember a lot of it. And I do remember this. I remember a backsliding door that went underneath the deck, and my car was parked like out past underneath the deck, and there was like a gravelly parking driveway. And I remember them opening the sliding door and closing it behind me and being like, "You gotta go."
Yeah.
And I was like, at that point, I'm like getting in my car. It was a little Honda CRX stick shift. And
I
like,
love CRXs.
yeah, it was a hatchback. I had like
Yeah.
10 motherfuckers in that thing before. And, I get in this car and I'm driving stick shift and my face is bleeding and
You're probably concussed. You're drunk.
concussed. I was drunk, concussed, bleeding, so my blood's thin. And, I obviously I'm going to crash. So I hit a tree, went through the windshield. Apparently I was told that when the medevac came, I was like on the hood kind of, and they pulled me out. And then I was like walking around the car, dragging because I broke my ankle from the impact. I was like walking around the car, dragging my ankle, like, where's my phone? I had like one of those little gold.
Was it a flip phone?
No, it was a gold Nokia phone. I remember it was. Wow, that's crazy. I haven't thought about this in a long time.
I'm trying to think about it. Which one was this?
It was like a Nokia phone that like you played Snake on. You could change the faces on it.
Oh, the covers?
Yeah, the covers. Remember
that
the
was the
snap
shit.
covers, the plastic ones, and you played Snake on it. It was like a green screen.
I don't remember Snake, but okay.
Yeah, you don't remember playing Snake?
No, what the fuck is Snake?
The game Snake, where you collect the dots, like you press the button and you turn a snake, and then you eat the dots, and then when you eat the dots,
I feel
the
like my
snake
kids
gets
play that
longer.
now. Yeah, my kids play that now. In the
How old are you?
37.
Okay, so then you should know Snake.
Maybe I had a moral compass and I was a dork. Maybe I was I had a pager. I had a pager and I was hey, bro. It was one of the clear ones too.
Yeah, so they found me, and they called the ambulance. Ambulance took forever to get to me. The ambulance drove me to a field. They put me in a helicopter, and they drove the helicopter brought me to St. Luke's. I spent 2 weeks in St. Luke's. It was a mess. It was crazy. I was just having this conversation with my brother. We were watching the Eagles game on Sunday, and when he got that call, the doctors called and they said, "We need you to bring a picture of your brother up to St. Luke's," because they flew a plastic surgeon in. My face was so mangled they didn't know what I looked like. So they
So you're
wanted.
saying this isn't your real face? Pull up one of the original
Yeah,
pixels.
it's funny.
First
I
of
got
all, he
it
was
original.
black and he was very
So yeah, my brother had to like bring up a picture where
seen
they
from
like
Face
had
Off.
to. Yeah, they had to. I mean, I don't know how.
But by the way, what a scary call for your brother to get.
Yeah, the call that my mom got was from the chaplain at St. Luke's. It was like,
Oh, damn.
yeah, it was like, we have your son here. I don't have any information, but your son is here. And she was like, what do you mean my son is there? It was like, I don't know whether to say his body is here or he's here. Like, that's the phone call that my mom
Be
got.
sensitive to like with the things you're saying.
I know, but they gotta kind of like give it.
They really don't know. Yeah.
So like my mom's like the whole drive up to St. Luke's, like not knowing if I was dead or not. But like, that's just the kind of shit that I got into all the time. Like that, I was always getting in that kind of trouble.
You have a tattoo that says "Sorry, Mom." That's the classic tattoo, right?
It's funny. I got a tattoo on my ankle that said "The weak give up, but only the strong survive."
Okay.
And my brother actually came to visit me in the hospital when I was up there, and he brought me a football that said "The weak give up, but only the strong survive." And I got that. That was my first ever tattoo. I got that on my ankle. That happened in March, and then my senior year football started that August camp, and I was still like limping around, but I played my entire senior year of football that next year.
Wow.
And then, the drinking continued, and I went to college. I actually ended up going to Widener, and my athleticism, I played right away. Like I think I was playing by week 2. I was getting on the field with like seniors and stuff, and I played a lot, and shit was crazy, man. Like I was just drinking all the time. So by the time I got done school in 2007, I went in 2003. I was done in 2007. Like I was a full blown drunken, and with drinking and stuff came the coke. So drinking and snorting coke and partying, and that was just kind of the lifestyle that I was living in college. It's crazy too, because I look back at it and I reflect and I think not everybody was living like that. I kind of stood out a little bit. And
I'm over here thinking I was a fucking nerd.
Yeah, but I stood out as I always brought everything to the extreme. You know what I mean? When I worked out to the extreme.
Called an addictive personality.
Yeah, for sure, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I always worked out to the extreme. I always did everything 110%.
Yeah.
And that went for drinking too.
Yeah.
And
isn't that that seems like a very stereotypical college football player kind of lifestyle too.
It does, but and that's kind of what I held on to.
I'm saying, did you idolize that?
No,
lifestyle?
but I used that as an excuse for my actions.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I kind of was telling myself, well, everybody else is doing this too. You know what I mean? But everyone else is staying up for 3 days. Everyone else is going to class on Monday.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
And it got crazy, and it trickled over, and after college it followed me through life after college. And
Did you graduate college?
Yeah, I finished over at Widener in 2007, and then it was crazy. It was just I was living this lifestyle. I was bouncing in bars, always drinking, always driving. It was crazy. It was crazy. And then it finally came to a tip when it was a crazy night. It was just there was a really crazy night where shit was wild, and
This is how we avoid the details.
Let's talk about it.
No, you don't have to go.
Let's talk
No,
about it.
I'm joking.
No, it's fine. It's fine. So look, I was married previously, and my now ex-wife had left me, right? She was like, I'm taking your sons and I'm leaving. So I actually have 3 sons with 3 different women.
Okay.
Like my mother, but opposite.
That happens.
So,
yeah.
And my son Colin was with us, who's my oldest, my 10-year-old from a previous relationship, and then my son Liam, who's with my ex-wife, and she was like, "I'm taking the kids and I'm leaving." That's how bad it was. It was crazy.
Okay.
And
because you were drinking a lot at home.
I was drinking a lot at home. I was, just all night long, and then going to work and coming home and doing it all over.
What were you
again.
doing work-wise?
So I was working construction, and my boss, I still work for that same company. He saw me through a lot of bad stuff. Like, and he really stuck with me and gave me an honest chance and let me do the right thing. Let me make good on, what I needed to do.
Yeah.
And
so you're working construction.
Yeah.
You're partying all night. Wife is at home at that time with the kid.
With the kids, yeah.
Just pissed the fuck off that you're out.
Fuck off, yeah. It was a toxic relationship because there was some behavior on her part that wasn't exactly kosher, and that was kind of some of the excuses that I held on to, like, I'm going to do this because you did that, or I'm going to do this
just like
you
in
did
college
that.
because it's the
I always found a reason to do what I wanted to do.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And then one crazy night I ended up back at my house, and there was a call girl at the house, and nothing happened, but my ex-wife walked in, and like, I'm sitting here on the couch, and then the girl off of the website is sitting there on the couch, and she walks in the door, and it's like, oh, how'd you get here? What? And it was like, so it was crazy, man. And then that next day, so that was February 1st, 2016.
Okay.
That next day, I checked into treatment.
Okay.
I checked myself into Miramont rehab, and I spent 21 days at Miramont, and my life has never been the same since. It's like I've never picked up another drink, never did anything ever again, and it's like I look back at it, it's like a totally different life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Do you feel like a whole like you feel like you're looking back at a different person? I'm a totally
different person. It's like people who know me, like I made amends with a lot of people who I hurt in the past. I do AA, so like there's 12 steps,
process,
and
yeah,
there's a whole process of like fixing yourself and dealing with some of the wreckage from the past. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a literal term, wreckage of the past. So like I burned so many bridges. I just did so many wrongs that like I had this whole laundry list of like shit I gotta address. And like throughout the years since 2016, I was able to do that and some. I made new relationships, made new friends, and like people who, like a lot of people that I know now, like don't even know me as like anyone who would ever do anything like
right.
that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I'm getting married coming up.
I heard.
Yeah.
I heard somebody's your best man.
Yeah. Andre's my best man.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like even Andre, like Andre's my best man, right? And Andre and I hit it off. Like, it's no secret. Like, I'm not saying anything to offend Andre. Like, he kind of put his business out there on the big stage at the UFC at his post-press conference. And, like, he put his business out there, and he struggled before, too, right? Like, it's no secret that, like, I
missed that.
I missed
it.
Wow, that's your boy. You better catch up.
He's only done one session. I don't know if he's my boy just yet. Depends how he'll go to.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm not going to dive into Andre's story,
joking,
but no, I hear you. And if anybody wants to, they can. Just fucking YouTube, like. Yeah.
But you bonded over that with him.
We bonded over that, correct? Like he had his past that he struggled with. I had my past that I struggled with, and we came together on this common ground, and we had several things. We had that, and then we had MMA.
Yeah.
Right, and our relationship flourished as a result. He's my brother. I was just talking to him before I was on my way here. I mean, that's my brother. And, like, he doesn't know me as anything else. Like, he didn't know me as the person I was before, and I don't know him as the person he was before.
But you guys understand who you are today because of that.
Correct. So absolutely. And that, look, one of the things is, like, I had to drink every drink, right? Like, I had to do everything I had to do to be who I am today.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And, like, my kids, being as the age that they are, like my son Colin's 10 and my son Liam is 6, like they don't remember, maybe Colin a little bit, maybe some arguments or something.
But thank God you got together.
But
before
exactly. He don't remember anything. He don't, like, if he saw me drinking a beer, his mind would spin off.
Yeah,
he wouldn't know what to think, like, because he knows Daddy don't drink. He just everybody else is drinking. He knows.
Does he? Because he's 10, right?
Yeah,
so I have an 11-year-old boy and a 7-year-old boy.
Okay, so we're close. Right there.
Yeah. They're a pain in the ass, aren't they?
Yeah.
I mean, they're the best. But they're a pain
I got the 4-month-old too now.
Oh, yeah, okay. Well,
I got the baby.
No, you're dealing
now.
with it. Yeah, you're dealing with it. But like they're definitely old enough to see and absorb what you're doing as in the house as a family.
Yeah.
We're very conscious of like how much we drink and what that looks like. And
yeah, for sure. That dynamic.
Yeah. So it's just funny. And I'm not trying to go into my thing, but I'll go right back to it.
All good.
So recently my wife, as part of the reason Andre is training me is because we were in Dominican Republic for a Saturday to Saturday, and we just drank and ate so much fucking food and so much drinking that I got back and I'm like, no, we gotta clean up, you know. And my wife's like, all right, we're gonna do this 21-day no sugar thing.
Okay.
All right, I'm in. Well, that involves no drinking. And then it's funny because my kid says, what are you gonna do when we go to the family parties? What are you gonna drink a fucking water?
Yeah.
Basically with that approach.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, it would be weird because you're used to seeing a different, you know.
Absolutely.
Anyway, point being is that I'm sure your kid sees it the same way. He sees you as not a drinker at all.
No, my sons know, like, you know, when we're at a family party, they know daddy's driving, right? Like, you see, like, oh, who's driving, they know daddy's driving, they know daddy's
the DD.
Yeah. No, they don't even know DD, they just know daddy's driving.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They know.
Does he ask you why you don't drink?
Yeah, so I talk, like, my 10-year-old I can be honest with. Yeah. Like, I can tell him, like, look, he doesn't know me as a drinker, so I can say to him, like, look, daddy doesn't drink anymore because he used to drink too much. Okay. You know what I mean? I can say that to him because he won't have something to reference from. Like, he can't reference, like, what is too much or any. Like, I can just say, I drank too much.
Yeah.
And, you know, he's cool with that. Like, he's a good kid. My son Colin's a good kid. I have two different kids that are two polar opposites.
Yeah.
So my son Colin, he's like real artsy and sciencey and loves animals and like Mother Nature and like he's real in touch with his feelings.
He's the old one?
He's my 10-year-old, yeah. He's
my 11-year-old, I say he's a sensitive flower.
Oh, dude, he's so sensitive.
Oh,
it's
my
crazy.
God. You can't
So
say
sensitive.
anything.
No. Seriously. Dad, I don't like the way that you said that to me. Do you think that maybe we could revisit that? Like seriously, like, what? Yeah.
What have you been watching?
Yeah, I know. He gets on that YouTube and like sees things, but he's like, you know, and I just got him into baseball, and he's like trying different sports, but like, you know, he's a smart kid, and he knows what he's doing, like, with his Legos, and he's creative and all stuff like that. And then I have my 7-year-old, who's like me when I used to drink, like. The kid is a savage, man. He's just crazy. He's just nuts. And, like, you know, we actually just signed him up for football. We were a little late, but he's going to be playing football for Ridley. And the kid's just crazy, man. He's just like so in my gym, in my garage, I have a gym. I put a 10x10 mat. I got, you know, the heavy bag, the upper. I got everything. And I swear to God, one day I woke up. It was like a Saturday, 7 o'clock, and I'm like, what's going on? I hear a ruckus. Something's going on. And I go downstairs. It's 7 o'clock in the morning, and my son Liam is in a full sweat in his pajama shorts with my gloves on, working a heavy bag. Oh the Muay Thai bag that touches the floor. Yeah. Punching it, kicking it, everything. I'm like, look at this kid go. So, I think he's got a future in combat sports.
So it must be something about the second born or something.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
You know, my little one just did. Gavin went into 6th grade this year, and then Weston went into 2nd grade.
Yeah.
And they took, I guess, a class photo, not like actual photos, but the teacher wanted a photo of the class, and he's like, "Dad, we had a photo today." I'm like, "Oh, that's cool." And he's like, "I stood like you guys do, like this," and I'm like, "God damn it!"
Good for you, kid.
Why is he being so hard?
Did he do like the?
No, I think I did. You know, like he sees that, so he has a Cageside T-shirt or whatever. So he wore it today to school.
Yeah,
and he sees like when sometimes we like post up with like, you know, the fucking, what else are you gonna do with your hands, right?
Yeah.
So it's so funny. I can only imagine all these little 7-year-olds, and he's like this.
Oh, that's great. That's awesome. I love it.
And he's the same fucking no shirt, walks around,
shirt off right
rips
away.
the fucking big one, a fucking new one all the time.
Absolutely.
We have to yell at him all the time, like, don't treat him like that.
Yeah, because he's mean to his older brother.
He's mean to the older brother. Yeah, he fucks him up.
Yeah, for sure. Dad, I'm gonna shoot Colin in the face with my Nerf gun. I swear. He gets his Nerf gun. He's like so angry, and I just see him like boiling. His face gets all red, and he's like, got his Nerf gun.
Yeah, like, I feel you, son. I understand how this goes.
Yeah. We got a cockatiel and a bearded dragon, And he's always like, Dad, I'm going to kill his animals.
Jesus Christ.
And I'm like, Liam,
You're like, relax, Dexter.
Liam, we're not doing this, son. He's like, no, I'm not really, but I'm going to tell him I'm going to kill him. All right, son.
He knows how to get under his skin.
Yeah,
He loves animals.
Oh,
of
it
course.
drives him nuts. Yeah.
Wow,
So,
that's hilarious.
but to my point, you know, it's always family first now. You know what I mean? And
So, your soon-to-be wife,
yeah,
she met you
Kirsten.
post all this stuff?
Oh yeah. She doesn't. Yeah. So
Because you made me laugh a little bit. One of your posts, I think it was when you got like stitches or something when you came up from the fight, or you went to visit her at work. Does she work in the hospital?
No. So she works. Yeah. So Kirsten.
But her face cracked me up
love
because it
you,
was kind of like,
Yeah.
what I got to deal with.
Love you, Kirsten. So she's a nurse at Penn Presbyterian.
Okay.
And she's good, man. She's good. She's a good girl. She went to Virginia Tech, and she was actually down there for that mass shooting.
Oh, wow.
And she came up. She went through the Drexel nursing program, and now she's a nurse at Drexel. And we actually met on Bumble, right? So
I never got to experience dating apps, but
yeah.
I've been married for a long time.
Yeah, man. It's
How was that?
So, you know, I'm sober, I'm doing well, I'm successful, I have my own shit. You know, I was ready to settle back down.
Yeah.
I had gotten through my past marriage, the trauma of all of that, and things like the dust had settled. You know what I mean? Realizing that I'm older and I don't want to be alone forever. So, like, you know, I start to get into the dating scene, and I don't go to bars, right?
Right. You remove all the social life stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I don't go to bars, and, you know, I had done that before. I met my ex-wife in a bar. Like, that's not what I was looking for, right? And, you know, my life now is all about making smart decisions, right? And I wanted to meet someone who I thought I could see myself with.
Yeah.
I wanted to make a good decision. And, you know, I'm glad I made the decision I did. But she's not cool. She's not cool with the MMA, man. And that's how you know you're with somebody who loves you.
Right.
You know what I mean? Not like...
She doesn't want you to get hurt, or she doesn't like the sport.
She doesn't want... She don't care for the sport. Like, she'll watch the fights because I put them on, and she don't have a choice.
Immediately.
Yeah. And, but, like, she don't like to see me fight, you know? And she doesn't want to see me get hurt, and she doesn't want to deal, like, you know, she's an educated woman. So, like, she knows about CTE and stuff like that. Like, she knows about these things, and she works in the orthopedic
Right. She sees damage.
trauma.
All the time.
She sees it, man. She sees it. And her father's actually an orthopedic surgeon. So, like, he sees
You're
it.
good to go, though.
Yeah. He hooks me up with the
You're good to
cortisone
go, bro.
shots.
You're going to look great.
Yeah. So, you know, she's not cool with it. And it's like...
So how's this going to work? First of all, how do you actually have the motivation to put in the work and continue pursuing that? Because it's hard. Like, I sometimes feel like I don't have the full support for certain things that I want to do.
Yeah.
And that's like really tough to still be like, well, I'm still going to do it. So how do you get through that? And then how do you see it going in the future when
so
the next level
like
hits?
For me, I have to take a position of selfishness, right? Like a part of what I do, like in recovery and being sober, in a nutshell, it's a super selfish thing, right? Like it's about changing yourself, right? It's about changing yourself for everyone else, but it starts with you, right? Like, so you have to make these decisions that are best for yourself. And sometimes, you know, other people don't like that, right? With MMA, I examined this. I did the homework. You know what I mean? I looked into it, and, you know.
Is this before or after you took a fight with 2 weeks of training in jiu-jitsu?
No, it's fine because she knew me. Like, we were dating at the time. Like, we were dating when I did the boxing match.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
And we were dating for my first fight. Right? Like, we were.
So you started. I mean, you were doing your thing, and she was
exactly.
Okay.
And like she was with me when I started that, and like she didn't raise the objection flag right away. You know what I mean? The objection flag came out after we started to get serious.
Right.
You know, and then she was like, "Hey, look, a part of what you're doing, I'm not really cool with." But like my position is I'm doing this for me, right? Like at the end of the day, ultimately, what I'm doing, I consider to be healthy, right? And as far as MMA, I'm not going to be able to do MMA forever, right? Like I'm 37. Ultimately, I do want to go pro. We're hoping this next fight of mine is going to be pro. Now, it was supposed to be something that we thought was going to happen relatively soon, November 20th. We just got news this week that that's not going to happen. So, we're ultimately the idea is
you're on a fast track, basically.
Yeah, my next. Well, it's not even a fast track. I have 5 fights, right? Like so, with the amount of fights that I have, if I wanted to go pro, I don't think that like Serb or the Pennsylvania State Athletic Commission would have an objection.
Yeah.
Right. Because I have wins. I have good wins. I'm ranked number 1 in Pennsylvania. I'm ranked number 4 in Northeast region. Like, if you look at me, you want to put me on a cardio machine, you want to run my blood work, you want to do whatever you want to do, I'll come back good on everything, right? Like, I'm a healthy person. And there'd be no reason for the state commission to not allow me to fight pro. Now, with my coaches and my teammates, like, that's a decision that we would make. But, like, I mean, I'm ready. I'm ready to take that next step. Now, my wife doesn't want me to, but again, like to your point of your original question is like, how do I do that? It's not easy. Like it's a balancing game, right? Like you have this balance. You have this Cageside Show that you love, right? Like this is something that you're away from your family right now to be sitting here with me, right? And your wife might be sitting at the table doing homework. She might be doing laundry, doing this, doing that.
Make me cry on the show.
Yeah,
but it's a selfish thing. I make absolutely $0 with this show.
Yeah, and it's something that you love, right? Like it's something that you want to see grow. It's your baby, right? And that's what MMA is to me. It's something that I love. Mm-hmm. It's my baby. It's for me. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, hun. It's mine.
Yeah,
you're not going to take it from me. Now, we've had the conversation like, look, the wheels are going to fall off one day. Like, it's inevitable. I can't fight forever. Right. So, like, eventually, hun, you'll get your wish, right? Yeah. Like, I'm not going to be able to fight. I'm going to do jiu-jitsu for a long time.
Yeah,
like, I'm going to, like, I'm going to do jiu-jitsu for a long time.
Yeah, I'm sure she's not worried about that part.
No, but then when I start jiu-jitsu, she's going to complain about that. But
well, because she's a wife.
Yeah.
That's what they do.
Yeah.
But also because you're going to be obsessed with it. Yeah. So it's going to take up a lot of time and a lot of mental space.
Yeah, that's what, exactly. Yeah. But again, it's for me. Yeah. And, look, she knows I'm understanding. If there's something that she wants to, you want to start knitting, you want to do pottery. Like,
how dare you?
You want to get into something, babe, by all means. As long as it doesn't interfere with my MMA, I'm okay with it.
Knit me my walkout shirt. Put yourself to use.
I love that MMA is your hobby, knitting.
Yeah, whatever you want to do.
It's an equivalent.
Yeah. So it's like, look, man, like I want to do this. So it's like nobody else is going to do it for me.
Right.
Like I don't see anybody banging down my door going, "Hey, Pat, I'm going to do this for you because it makes you happy."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like how many people?
Wouldn't that be nice? And nobody ever knocks.
Yeah. Like. It just doesn't. Life doesn't work that way. Nobody's going to come to you and make you happy. You got to make yourself happy. Yeah. So, look, this is what I love to do, and I think I've done pretty well with it in a short period of time. I've won, against some shitty opponents, but I've fared pretty well against some good opponents, considering how much experience I have. Like, look, the guys.
You also train with Beast.
Yeah.
Like you're training with Daukaus, the Daukaus brothers.
Yeah, for sure.
Who are putting Philly very high up in the UFC, with their performances and stuff like that.
Yeah, for sure.
It's not like you're like starting out and you're kind of just feeling things out, and your wife's like, "Don't fight."
No, yeah, exactly.
Like you're doing it the right way.
Exactly, and that's where it's like, what are you gonna pull the rug out from under me now?
Yeah.
Like it doesn't. I'm right where I need to be.
Yeah.
And it is what it is, man. And I'm having fun, and ultimately that's the plan. Like, let's get a couple pro fights, and then eventually it'll be like, okay, you're done.
Yeah.
Like maybe I go out there and I just can't compete, right? Like there's somebody who I just get in there and I realize I can't.
You're not at the level that you wish you could be.
I'm not at the level that I need to be to continue.
But there's no way you don't want to know that for sure. You gotta keep on going.
I'm gonna find out the hard way.
You're gonna find out.
I'm going to find out the hard
Hopefully we find out otherwise. But you know what I mean? But there's no way you're going to say, all right, I'm done and not know if that would have been the case.
No. Like, because then I'll be laying in bed with, like, that unknown.
You'll be fucking miserable.
Yeah. Like, Thank you. That's what I try to explain to her. I'm like, do you
don't
really,
get us.
No. Do you really want to be the person who told me no? Like, do you want to deal with me knowing that I know you told me no?
Right. I'm going to hate you.
Exactly.
Are you okay with it?
Yeah. Like, exactly. That's exactly what
it is true.
And I'm like, you don't want that resentment. You don't want me to have that resentment.
Yeah.
I don't want to have that resentment. So, like.
But also maybe, and I'm just projecting how I feel about what I do, and to you. But there's no better you, or there's no better me than when I am doing everything to see something grow and to try to do something with something. Like that is such a good feeling, and you feel good about it. When you don't have something like that, man, can you get miserable? At least I can get miserable.
Look, man, like who is a person without a passion? Like, what are you? What kind of person?
I know a lot of people without passions, and I don't know how.
Exactly, and that's where I'm at. Like, I don't want to be a person without dedication, without drive, without ambition, without passion. Like, I don't want to be that person.
Yeah.
I know what that person looks like, and I used to be that person.
Right.
Like, I know that person. You don't want that person.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want, my kids don't want that person.
Yeah.
Right? Like, so this is what I'm doing because it's good for me. Right? And that's even with let's include the camaraderie, right? Like, right now, you never met me before. We're talking. Now it's like, well, fuck. Now we're going to be DMing about shit. Like,
let's relax on that.
Yeah, exactly. But what I'm saying is, like, there's a
certain connection.
There's a camaraderie with these things, and with passions, like our passions align a little bit. It's and like you meet new people, and it's like,
and you got to surround yourself with those people, right? Which you weren't doing in the past. You were with the wrong people.
Surrounding myself around with people who were doing what I was doing. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Had no dedication, no drive, no passion,
and ultimately probably don't want to see you succeed either, because they're shitheads too.
Yeah, I mean, look, maybe they do, maybe they don't, but like, I don't think about them. I don't like, look, this is what I'm doing.
Yeah,
right? Like, I have a lot of old friends, that are, they're still stuck in that drinking mode, and it's like it's hard for me to see and watch, and I'm just, I hope I can lead by example. And like I see these people who I know struggle with addiction, who I know struggle with alcoholism, and I hope that they see me and they go, I can make a change. And they say it's a program of attraction, not promotion. I'm kind of promoting it a little bit now, but
visit the website below.
It's supposed to be attraction.
Yeah. Lead by a positive example, and then
exactly, and then
those will follow.
Look, when they come to you and ask for help, that's when you do your thing.
Yeah. Now let me ask you a question. I think I have an addictive personality, but I think obviously I got a handle on a lot of things. Mm-hmm. But how do you not, like, what do you look for? Like, let's say you have nothing to do. Mm-hmm. What do you look forward to that replaces cracking a nice drink with your wife or having a beer while you're grilling? Okay. Like, what do you still think about that?
Yeah. So. No, I've been so far removed from the drink that the idea of drinking doesn't appease me anymore. I don't even know what it tastes like. Like, I don't even know what a beer tastes like. I forget. Like,
yeah.
The ship has sailed.
Until I bust out that Bacardi Limon.
Yeah, right. But for me, it's I've created such a life for myself that I'm so happy that I don't need anything else to alter my state of mind to make me happy.
No, but I get all that. Yeah. But because I actually don't. We talked about this before. Like, I don't even know really what buzz feels like, because I like to have a drink and enjoy the drink, but I don't like getting drunk. Like, as we know, I have apparently a very sissy mental compass. No, I like to drink a good amount, but I don't like feeling like that. You know what I mean? So I pace myself and all that shit. But my point being is that it's not that that's what you need or a change of state, but like, it does feel good to sit and have something and have a conversation. Like, I guess because I'm not used to anything.
I guess
different.
I think what you're referring to is kind of like a nuance of the environment that you're in. Like, if you're at it, you're PJ Willihan's and everybody's eating wings and everybody's drinking beers.
Right.
How do I deal with that situation? For me, it's all I have to do. So is play the tape out, right? So this one of the things that you say is play the tape out, and it's the tape goes. Okay, I'm gonna have one, right? Like, let's just say I have one beer. what happens with me? I'm going to have a second. And then I'm going to have a third. I'm going to have a fourth and a fifth. And it's going to get crazy. Then I'm going to be like making phone calls. Maybe I can go meet a guy and get something else. And then now I'm right back to where I was, right? So like for me, it's like it starts with the first drink. I just have to be able to visualize what happens when I drink that first drink.
Okay.
And then it becomes so unappealing to me because
yeah.
I know what that pain and what that trauma looks like.
Do you have to think about that often though, or not really anymore?
I mean,
like, do you have to play the tape?
Not really now anymore because it's just so natural to me that like.
And everybody probably respects it too.
Yeah,
because it's tough sometimes when you're with people who don't get it, and then you feel like you're.
Some people who don't know you are like, what beer? Like you're sitting there, what are you drinking? It's like, nah, I don't drink. Okay, cool. Like most people won't like. What do you mean you don't drink? Like because again, I don't surround myself with people who are like that anyway, who are going to be assholes and jerk offs. Like if I'm picking up on that type of demeanor, like I can create enough distance that it's like, all right, I don't need to be around that.
Do you agree with me on this theory that if you have had a past and you've chosen to go a positive route, you respect that person saying, I don't drink. But when somebody says they don't drink and they've never drank before, do you have a little suspicious vibe about them?
No, because I'm just wasting.
That's my theory.
Yeah, no, I
when
get it.
When you meet somebody who's like, no, I don't drink. Did they have a problem? No, not at all. What the fuck is
They
wrong
just
with that
don't
person?
drink.
That's a little weird.
It could be considered a little weird, or maybe they're just smarter than everybody else. I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I just think they're serial killers.
Yeah, no. It could be.
Or like have a but like I don't know, smoke, do something.
Yeah,
like,
no. I
have
get
a negative,
it.
a little bit of a negative.
No, I get it. Like, I get what you're saying. It's just for me. It's always been like there's been enough trauma in my past.
Yeah.
There's been enough chaos that like.
No, but you make perfect sense. Like to
like,
me, you're the perfect reason for what you're doing.
Yeah, it's like there's been so like I have 3 DUIs, right? Like so I got 2 more in college. Like I got one on the Atlantic City Expressway. I fell asleep, crashed into the person behind me. They spun out. I totaled their car.
Jesus Christ.
Right, and then a third time I was driving. It was a college graduation party. I hit a telephone pole with a good friend in my car. He broke his hip. It was like.
Yeah,
it was crazy.
And you're also so lucky that you didn't fucking kill somebody, or you know what I mean? Like it could be so.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's like there could have been so many situations where, like, you know, I was dead or should have been dead. Or
do you now think back about that and like, because even like compared to when I was younger, I get so paranoid with like drinking and driving kind of thing, like.
Yeah, I don't know. Look, but when I was doing it, they didn't have Uber. I don't know that I necessarily would have utilized the Uber just because I was that type of dude anyway. I was doing what I wanted to do. Nobody was stopping me ever. But like I look at it now and I just see people that drink and drive. I'm like, how could you be so stupid? Like you literally have access to. To
I'm so happy for our kids
phone.
though.
Yeah, I mean,
they don't have to worry about that shit. Hopefully.
I mean. I'm worried about my 7-year-old.
Me too.
Because he's a little nuts, man.
Let me know when he's going out.
I hope this kid don't end up like me. But like, look, I mean, in all honesty, like being the father that I am now, I can lead by example. I didn't have that growing up. I didn't have that lead by example.
Yeah.
So I can be the person that I didn't have, so that my kids don't have to go through what I went through.
Yeah.
Right. And look, man, it's all for me. It's like smooth sound now. I'm on cruise control. Like I do certain things that are part of my program, that are maintenance, that are like, you know, things that just make sure, like, because look, I'm not perfect, right? Like I'm not sitting here saying like I'm this saint. Like I don't lose my temper. Like I don't yell at my kids and tell them to shut the fuck up sometimes. Like that shit happens.
Especially the little ones.
Yeah, like that shit happens. And like, you know, I lose my cool. You know, I still have a temper. I still quick to like kick a door or something. Like I still have my downfalls. Like it happens. I'm only human. But the key is that I can look back at it and reflect and go like, okay, that was bad behavior. Yeah. Right? Like, whereas in before, I never had that ability to look back at something and say,
now you
like,
have the balls in your place where you can fix those problems too and address them instead of just kind of pushing them off and
absolutely.
nothing happen.
Yeah, I mean, look, I wouldn't have it any other way.
It's a beautiful thing, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Get inspired, people. If you're fucking up out there, this is a good story.
But yeah, so
Appreciate you sharing that, man.
but dude, with the MMA, it's like that camaraderie that I get, like it's
Beautiful
awesome,
thing,
man.
right?
Yeah, it's beautiful. Like I'm like I said, I'm getting married October 22nd, and like half of the guys from my gym are coming to my wedding.
That's great.
You know what I mean? And like in all honesty, and like they know because like we invited like 220 people, right? And we had a lot of people who can't make it, like the COVID Delta variant, and certain people are scared, and there's a lot of her family members that are in the medical field, so like they think they're smarter than everybody else. So like we had a lot of people who couldn't make it, and like I reached out to a couple of guys in the gym. Yo, do you want to come my wedding? You're the B team. You're the second roster. Yeah. And they're like, yeah, shit, yeah, man, we're coming. And like, for me, it's like, that's a beautiful thing.
Hell yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, to have a connection with somebody, even in just a short period of time, that like, they're gonna go out of their way, to be a part of.
And it's very
my big day.
And it's very clear to see that they all have your best interest. Like
exactly.
You know what I mean? They're pushing you towards.
It's crazy too, man. Because in MMA, I've noticed like the MMA community, like if you're not in it, you don't know what it's like, right? Like you're in it, you may not realize it, but like you're in the MMA community, you know a lot of the fighters, and like like their mindset, and the circles and how we all work, and like if you're not in that and you don't know it exists, but then when you become a part of it, it's fucking beautiful. Like, it really is something that's totally different. Like, ultimately, we're getting in the cage and we're beating the shit out of each other. But, like, there's a super mutual respect there that goes into that, like, every single one of us knows that, like, we all got each other's back. And, like my training partners, like, we're trying to, like, hurt each other while we're sparring, but like ultimately we're all trying to get better,
trying to make each other better.
You know what I mean? And like everybody, like I went down to Manassas, right? And like Chris isn't getting paid, Matt's not getting paid, like Will's not getting paid any. Like I pay my gym dues, but like I'm not like, Will, here goes $1,000 to come down to Manassas, Virginia. Like it's not.
They're all there to see you,
and they're all there to see me do well.
Right.
You know what I mean? And they're there because I put the work in, right? Yeah. And I don't know, like previous to like me getting sober, like nobody's ever been willing to do anything like that for me. Like nobody was like, yeah, you know what, Brady's such a good dude that like I'm gonna go out of my way and like drive 4 hours and pay tolls and
he might
gas.
fucking disappear tonight and go to Atlantic City. But
yeah, exactly. But as a result of everything that I am and everything I'm doing,
I mean, I think it's as easy as it's respect, right? So you earn their respect.
Yeah.
And then they respect you so much, they go to the distance with you.
Exactly.
And you're going to do the same thing for them.
Yeah.
Any of those guys call, right? You're going to go.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, it sucks because on October 30th, 4 of my teammates are fighting. And I'll be in the Barbados.
Wow, you bailed on them that quick.
I know.
Wow. And you guys are going to his wedding?
I know. I'll be in the Barbados.
What a jerk.
I know. I'll be in Barbados
for you,
for my honeymoon. Oh, for the honeymoon. Yeah, for the honeymoon. Yeah. So we get married October 22nd.
Yeah, but your wife deserves that. Because you said basically, so you're going to knit.
Yeah.
And you don't like fighting, so I'm gonna fill our wedding party with fighters.
Yeah. Dude,
so every picture for the rest of your life has nothing but cauliflower.
all
over.
Dude, she's so like, you better not get cauliflower ear. She's like, you better not get.
Do you rub your ears at night just to fucking?
No, I mean it's not. No, I don't have it, but like it's tough in there. Like it's hard in there.
But you also haven't been doing it so long
that
that
3 years.
You might have a little bit, but
but yeah. So, dude, I love MMA, dude. It's so much.
It's a beautiful thing, right?
Yeah, it's so much fun. Like we all vibe.
Yeah,
for sure.
It's hopefully the point of the show, right? That we're trying to get that out there to everybody. All these stories to me are beautiful because there's never been anybody who sat down here where I've been like, you're kind of like a piece of shit. Like,
yeah.
Because usually everybody has a story, right? Everybody's just trying to be better. Everybody's just working together to become something. And whenever you guys are fighting, whoever it might be, part of the group, everybody gets so excited. and you almost feel part of that. So you're right.
Yeah.
I see everybody, like, for example, tonight, or you'll see this tomorrow, but there's a lot of people who have either been here or who train with those guys, and you're so fucking happy for them.
Yeah, man.
When we were in DR, Andre was fighting in his last fight.
Yeah.
And I was so fucking excited. Like I made everybody fucking sit and stop drinking for a second. Let's watch the fight. You know what I mean? So it's a beautiful
amazing.
thing to be part of.
It really is. And like I said, if you're on the outside, you won't really get it. You don't get like how we all feel about each other. But like from the inside, it's like, fuck, man, I love it. I wouldn't, it's crazy. I love it. Yeah.
MMA is beautiful. Cageside. Brother, thanks for coming on, man. Your story's awesome.
Yeah.
I loved hearing it. I hope you had fun and it wasn't too much of a psychologist.
No. Look, man, it is what it is. Like, it's not easy, man. This is not easy. Like you said, I'm a dad.
Yeah.
I'm a husband. I'm an employee. I do MMA. There's only so much of this pie that is your daily life. And it's like you have to like give out pieces to everything and everybody. And yeah, man, I'm glad that I have that with
one thing
the
I
MMA
think of
community.
when I do this, that I think it's the same with you. At least the time that you don't spend with the kids for training or for doing whatever, you're definitely showing a good example.
Yeah, for
You're
sure.
definitely you're still parenting while you're doing it.
Yeah, it's
Because
positive. Like what
it
you're
is
doing right
positive.
now is positive. It's
The way
positive.
my kids come here and they help me set up. My little one helped me fucking
that's awesome.
scrape the thing off the wall, and they
Love
help
it.
me with decorations. And
Yeah.
my older one who's into YouTube gives me tips for like how
That's
to
awesome.
spread the shit.
Yeah.
They see that it's not easy.
Yeah.
They see that it's like a lot of like, it's a lot of letdowns or a lot of sit and waits or a lot of. But they see that you just got to keep on going. So it's a positive. You're doing something
for sure.
positive, man.
I love it. I got my belts on my wall and the belt cases.
They probably think you're a fucking superhero, man.
I love it, man. It's great.
I'm sure.
Thanks
you're
for
telling
having me. I appreciate it.
brother. It's a pleasure. Are we gonna do any current events or anything? You got something?
Yeah,
good?
yeah. Didn't you? What you have? You had a question for me about it?
Yeah, that's separate. That's separate. And we're gonna have a little fun. You're gonna hate me for it, but we're gonna have a little
let's
fun.
go.
It's gonna be separate though. I want to do a little something after the episode.
Okay.
To help. Hopefully.
Let's hear it. What's the current events?
Are we gonna put current events?
Sure. So we
You
can
got something?
do. I don't know if you guys probably heard about this.
Let's see what we got.
Let me get rid of the ad.
You can put the ads. That was all right. Dig the studio, man.
Dude, this is awesome.
Pretty cool, right?
This is really cool.
It's comfortable. The other one,
Wait,
the
can
other one was kind of
Is
scrapped
that
together.
what color gray is that? Is that agreeable gray? I think I know that gray paint.
I don't know what.
So I'm
grade
a
that-
superintendent for a builder, and it's like I notice all this shit, everything that goes into everything.
Mm-hmm.
And
Well, go ahead.
you did a good job, man. This is cool.
Well,
This
so
is
we
nice.
came in here. So Rob from CFFC is right here.
Hey, that.
Yeah.
cool.
So we share the space.
Nice.
So I came in first, and this was my nook, right? So I came in and I did the faux brick, and I painted. I did the whole fucking thing. Me and my 7-year-old basically did the whole set. And then he was like, "All right, we're gonna gray everything else up to make it look because we took it early and we took it quick so we can get in here.
That's
fast.
awesome.
So they didn't do anything. They left the carpets. They left it painted all fucked up.
Yeah.
So we put it together pretty quick, but
Looks good, man.
it's a good setup and the location's
be
great. I
proud
don't know
of,
how much
yeah.
you're.
Dude,
in
this is
area.
a great little town,
It's a
man.
great
This
town.
is beautiful. Like everybody's out with their kids. It's
If you come on a fall, bring the wife and kids
Yeah.
down on a fall day or something.
yeah. She's
Great.
from Moorestown, so
Oh, okay.
she's not far
Morristown?
from Moorestown.
Moorestown. Oh,
Yeah,
my
her
parents
fa-
live in Moorestown.
Yeah, her family's from Moorestown,
Okay.
and
Yeah, so she's familiar with Haddonfield.
yeah, she's
Yeah.
she's right up
Yeah,
there.
we live in Cherry Hill, right up the street.
Oh, this guy, Connor.
Don't say this.
What
guy.
are you doing, guy?
Don't say this guy.
I love him.
I
love him.
I like Connor.
I love Connor.
Everybody knows how I feel.
I
About
think it's hilarious.
Connor. You know what? I actually unfollow several people that I follow.
Wait, you do that? You unfollow people that?
Well, no. Here's the problem. For Cageside, as part of the growth, I follow a lot of people. So just as a poke of like, hey, look at me. If you like it, follow. Right?
Okay.
It got a little out of hand, and I follow like 6,000 fucking
Okay.
people.
But
I don't
you
know.
got some followers back as a result.
Of course I did.
for
And a
sure.
lot of them are actually like it worked the right way because I followed For example, let's say you post about your other 5 teammates. Well, I'm going to follow all those teammates because chances are they might be interested in
in the show. Yeah,
See,
right.
I heard you followed me. That's how I knew about the show.
There you go. Exactly.
So.
See,
There you go.
so it does work. But part of that also comes following a bunch of bullshit that then you see and you're like, why am I following you?
Love it.
So in the day that this happened, there was so many typical Connor, of course, that I'm like, can you fucking relax? Like, he's a fighter in a red carpet. I would love to hear your thoughts.
Yeah.
But he's a fighter in a red carpet drinking his fucking whiskey.
Yeah.
Of course he's going to be a little rowdy.
Look, man, he's worth how much? Like, what are they saying? A couple $100 million now?
Yeah, for sure.
But he's still like a poor kid from Dublin, right? Like, he's still a street rat from Dublin that, like, say the wrong thing and he's going to snap. Like, from what I heard, the story is like apparently he tried to get a picture with him.
Which
is
I
that
believe.
true or not?
I don't believe.
I don't know that I believe it either.
You think Connor really wants a picture? Maybe with Megan Fox. And
Maybe it's true. Maybe it's not. It sounds like bullshit. But like me now, I wouldn't respond that way. Me back then, when I was like that, when I was crazy, like, you know, drinking proper 12, even though it didn't exist then. And like I had a couple drinks in me, and I went up to someone and asked them for a photo, and they told me no. I would respond the same exact way.
100%.
Go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
You know, and yeah, I'm with it. Look, dude, I like Conor McGregor in the sense that like he is a showman, right? Like he everything that he is flamboyant with his watches and his suits.
He has terrible style. Can we say that though?
I kind of like his style. He's got like the slim fit.
Terrible fucking style. Okay, the slim fit's fine.
Yeah, he's wears like the short, like Gucci.
Oh, fine. Oh, cool. But he has a body. He can show it off. I don't mind those. But when he wears the fucking like croc belt and the tucked in tight polo shirt and the dark fucking perfect jeans and the fucking slip on shoe, it's a little much.
It's hilarious. But so like he's got like this persona.
I have a feeling in 5 years you're gonna be in the UFC and you're gonna be wearing the same fucking McGregor outfit right here.
Yeah,
with the loafers.
He's got like this persona, man. That like it's created a market for, you know, other fighters to be like that and create buzz. And like he was kind of like this original person acting a particular way, and it worked. Like he's made more money than any other MMA fighter in the history of MMA.
Right.
Like he changed the game. He changed how much fighters are getting paid. So like while a part of you as a fighter wants to be respectful to your opponents and show that martial arts respect that we all agree exist.
Yeah.
Part of you says that like this is necessary, right?
Yeah.
Like he's necessary to bring in the views.
Well, he made the sport become, what's that called? Like a mainstream sport.
Yeah, for sure.
Like when the guy's on the top of the Forbes list, when now Sports Center and all these are constantly talking about the sport, that shit wasn't happening before McGregor.
No.
You know.
Yeah, I mean, look,
I will say this: he needs to win something soon, because as a fan, it gets a little frustrating.
I don't know how.
He can so he can, but the problem is that he's never going to fight those guys that he can beat.
I think he fought Cerrone, right?
Yeah,
and he knew that was a winnable fight.
Yeah.
I think he's willing to honestly, I think he's willing to fight anybody who he knows he can beat. I really do, because I think he was like calling out who's the original Ultimate Fighter winner, Diego Sanchez. He was like calling out Diego Sanchez. We all know he'll kill Diego.
But I think Ferguson he would beat.
Now
the way Ferguson's looked.
Yeah, I mean Ferguson. Dude, what is up with him? Is he like
terrible? I don't know.
I gotta watch what I say. I'm gonna be in Vegas this weekend for Fight Week, for International Fight Week.
Fuck you up. Are you really gonna be there?
Yeah. I'm going out there with Chris. I'm doing his corner. Chris.
Wait, is Chris's fight already this next weekend?
Chris. So not this weekend.
Right.
Chris's fight is the 25th.
Oh shit.
So we fly out Tuesday.
So he's part of that one?
Oh, Chris is on the Volkanovski Ortega card.
Why the fuck didn't I put two and two together?
266. Yeah.
Chris, you know why? Because Chris came on the show forever ago, and we talked about the fight, and I guess it
fell through a couple times.
Yeah.
So he's fighting Shamil, and he's on the UFC 266 card.
I know. It's good for you, dude.
Yeah,
Enjoy that.
I know. We're going.
Keep it together.
I know. T-Mobile Arena, dude. Like, We get to walk down that tunnel, like, you know. And again, like this goes back to what we were saying earlier, like. Chris is allowing me to go to Las Vegas with him, right? Like I just met him, I don't know what, 6 months ago, 7 months ago, and like he's bringing me in his entourage.
Chris is a good dude,
and he's
not for that, but
he's not bringing me because he thinks I'm going to be a problem. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he's bringing me because he respects me. You know, he respects who I am, and he sees what I do, and how much work I put into this, and he's having me out there with him. You know what I mean? So
it's a you, Kyle.
Me, Chris, Kyle, and Will. Yeah. Okay. They're actually staying out there because Kyle's fighting
the week after, right?
The week after. Yeah, Kevin Holland the week after. So they're going to stay. Chris and Kyle are going to stay. Will's going to fly back Sunday with me and then fly back out Thursday.
And Kyle fights fucking Big Mouth. What's his name?
Kevin Holland. Yeah.
It's a
fun fight. That's a fun fight. I love it. It's a great fight for Kyle because stylistically they kind of line up, right?
Yeah.
Kyle's long, Kevin Holland's long, and I don't think Kevin Holland does too well on his back.
Yeah.
Right. Like I think if
hitting his takedown defense was shit.
His takedown defense is trash. Yeah. So.
But then he trained with
Kyle's got great jiu-jitsu and Kyle's got a lot of submission.
Kyle had won his last fight was the issue, but before that. He looked fucking phenomenal.
He was undefeated. He went into the UFC undefeated.
Yeah,
correct?
But his I'm not gonna pick one brother over the other.
Yeah,
but he was so snappy looking. Like everything was just crisp as shit. Like the striking and he looked phenomenal.
When he beat Stolfus, the dude Dustin Stolfus. Yeah,
he looked great. The last fight was obviously a whole different story, and he got kind of smothered on the ground. It was fucking.
Yeah, I mean Phil Hall's was not like we reviewed a lot of film. On Phil Hall's, I watch a lot of film. I love watching it, and I love learning it. And Phil Hall's came out a different fighter than he was.
Not what you guys were expecting.
Yeah, I mean, his cardio was better. Like his ground game was better. Everything about his striking was better. Like he came out. He made a lot of changes.
And he trains with Brunson, I think, right?
I think so.
Yeah. Well, that'll be exciting. So Chris gets a win. Kyle gets a win.
Yeah, man.
You guys are doing good things.
They come.
You know Crisida over there too?
Yeah, I know. She's coming to my wedding.
Oh, is she really?
Yeah, Crisida's great.
Yeah, Crisida's awesome.
Yeah, she just got a fight. She fights soon. Fight's coming up. Yeah, she got a Combate fight coming up.
Is she done with Combate after this?
I'm not sure. I don't know what her contract looks like, but this is her third Combate fight. She did a fight and then a tournament. I could be wrong.
Her last one was a tournament. She fought, it was like 7 girls fighting.
Yeah, it was like a tournament. Yeah, it was savage shit because
that's fucked up. Yeah, it's a lot of work.
Yeah, it's a lot of work for sure.
But Crisida's a beast.
Yeah,
I have a little project outside of this that I started before this, and Crisida was part of that. And man, do I hope that fucking thing takes off. I can't say much. I mean, I can say whatever the fuck I want because it's my project and it's not going anywhere so far. But it's out in LA in like a sizzle mode right now.
Yeah.
In the worst part, right? And like the take forever.
Yeah.
Will it ever become something? Will they want to sell it to like a Netflix and make it a thing? That's where it's been forever.
Yeah.
So it's very frustrating. It's been actually I wrapped the editing on it when COVID hit and I was home, and it's been since then that it's been floating around. But she's one of the main fighters in the show.
Yeah, she's cool,
she's
man. She's a good little girl. Like she's cool too. Like she's real down to earth. I brought my son Declan to the gym on Sunday. I got in a lot of trouble for that too from the wife. So much trouble. I got so much trouble. But so I brought the baby to the gym, and I was out there working out a little bit, and Crisida's like, I got him, go work out, and she's like holding the baby. Busted her chops. I said, "You want one soon, Crissida?" She's like, "No." It's just busted chops.
Well, that was good. You did a good deed. You went in there. Reminder. Focus on your work.
Don't do this. Don't do this. For the love of God. Is it Billy Madison? Stay as long as you can. Yeah.
That's awesome. Any more current events?
Yeah. Do we have another current event?
Well, this is some good news, personally.
Connor fighting MGK was good news. I don't think that's good news. I think this is bullshit.
What is this going on?
I think this is complete bullshit,
When
Gabby.
did this happen?
This just came out yesterday.
Yep.
Yeah, so the UFC is doing too much of this. I disagree with this.
Listen, Moreno Figueiredo 3. I've shared my dislike for Figueiredo. and his fashion sense a lot on here. He has no reason to get this third fight.
No, he's got to win another fight before he gets it.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Can I clarify? I just like Brendan Moreno. So I just like when he's back.
I like Moreno too.
So-
Moreno's an idiot for taking this fight.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, they must have lined his pocket. Something happened there because, yeah, I disagree. They're doing too much of this. They're doing way too much of this. Like, I don't know if they're doing favors or agents are like shaking hands behind doors. Like, hey, look, you owe it to my guy. Or somebody like got naked pictures of somebody. You know what I mean? Like, but like,
is this what you think every time there's a third fight?
No, I just think
somebody's got naked pictures.
No, I just think that like somewhere down the line there was a conversation I had like, dude, do me a solid.
Yeah,
right.
It feels that way.
Like it does because like I think things are a lot more simplistic than what we're seeing. I don't think a lot goes into it, and I think it's really just two guys sitting down like we are right now.
Yeah.
And I think it's like, all right, do you want to do it? Yeah, sure, we'll do it.
Yeah,
it's fine.
Right.
And dude, Moreno's a fighter. Like he's gonna fight. He's not gonna tell him no. Like,
here's the thing though. Figueiredo before Moreno was, oh my God, he's the fucking best.
Yeah.
If you run the risk of let's say Moreno has an off night and Figueiredo has a decent night and he loses, he lost like then now everybody's gonna be like, oh, he was lucky.
But then we got to do a 4.
Fuck that.
Right, but that's where we're at now. Like, why wouldn't Moreno?
That was a
4?
mistake, and I don't like it.
Because then they'd be even, draw,
right,
win-win.
Yeah, I don't know.
Right.
I'm not cool with that one.
I think Moreno looked great in the first one. I think Moreno whooped his ass obviously on the second one.
Yeah.
I mean, he looked way better than Figueiredo.
Yeah, how about that for a comeback story? Like, he was on the Ultimate Fighter. Like, that's
cut,
someone
right? That cut.
Yeah, that's someone that like I can relate to. Like, this is a dude who like fought his way out of the trenches. You know what I mean? And like, and did what he had to do, made improvements, made changes, and like became a world champion.
He's a
like,
very likable dude.
That's
he
awesome.
likes Legos a little too much, but he's a very likable dude.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. He's like kind of nerdy, right?
He's
like,
very nerdy. Yeah. I love those memes that they put up like every single day of like, if somebody told you this muscle guy, you know, and then this guy, and this guy can whoop his ass, or he's the tough one.
Dude,
and he's
I used to be that guy who'd be like, oh, that muscle dude would smash him.
Yeah.
Like, I was that guy, like, sitting at the bar stool, like, yeah, I could beat one of the arguments that I got into with a guy, dude, I could beat Uriah Faber. I could beat Faber. Like, I sat at a bar and told somebody I could beat Uriah Faber. With no
maybe now you couldn't. He's
Faber. No, I don't know. Maybe I don't give myself enough credit. But you know, look, I see how I fare against Will, right? Like my coach Will Martinez, and like let's just say he's built like Faber, right?
Yeah.
And Faber was extremely successful in the UFC and multiple organizations, and Will did really well too. I think Will was 13-3, right? I see what Will does to me now as far as like on the ground, jiu-jitsu wise and wrestling. And Will gives me a hard time. Like I don't want to say he gives me a hard time. I like Will bullies me. You know what I mean? And I'm
well, in that sense, yeah. But if you crack a Uriah Faber,
see,
I'm just saying.
No, I know.
Come on.
Here's the no, you're right.
And if
like,
he has you on the ground and you start just fucking elbowing the shit out of him,
no, you're right. Like because.
If you're grappling, you're fucked probably.
I'm 255 pounds, and he's a little guy, and I think
only light heavyweight people have a possible chance against a heavyweight fighter.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like
with some skill,
with some skill.
Who knows what he's doing?
But you know, anything below that,
you might be right because, we got heavy hands, man.
Fuck yeah. Like, and they're not going to hurt you either.
Yeah.
They're not going to crack you hard enough to.
It's funny the guy I fought before I just fought Raiden Keller, Kid Gavin. Going into the fight, Will was like, "If he hits you with a bat, it's not going to hurt you." That's how confident I am going into this fight. Like because he sees like I get cracked from Chris and Kyle, and like he sees the punches that I take, and he knows that I can take a punch and. You might be right. I could be Faber. Fuck you.
Oh,
bitch!
By the way, it's the only promo we're putting for this episode.
Yeah, and you know I'm gonna see him too of this next week. I'll be sitting.
And you're gonna be like, he's not that short actually.
I'm like, oh, can I get a picture, Ryan?
And then he says no, and then you pull up a McGregor. You throw the drink at him, throw the seltzer at him.
Yeah,
that's hilarious. Anything else?
Yeah, we were talking about on the DMs. We were talking about the fighter mentality
The Holyfield thing?
of the Holyfield thing. Yeah, that's a current event, right? So
Yeah, so you don't have to bring it up. We can just talk real quick about the Holyfield.
yeah,
I was saying, so I think I posted something about whether money should be allocated so that fighters get it when they retire, which means that they don't have to take these big fights for the money.
yeah,
And then you immediately were like, listen, you're wrong.
yeah.
Because a fighter doesn't want to stop fighting.
A fighter
needs
doesn't
be
want to
told.
stop fighting, man. Like they don't want to stop fighting. Like, do you honestly think Holyfield really needs the money?
No, I know he doesn't, because I've heard plenty of times how he was very smart with his money.
Yeah.
And he does whatever his mom tells him to do. He's a good boy.
Yeah.
Like, he's not Tyson.
And Holyfield's still marketable. Like,
Yeah.
Holyfield can still go out there and do events and junkets and stuff like that where he can still bring in money,
Right.
commentate, do something. Like,
Yeah.
he's still a marketable name.
He's a smart guy. He's got
and
his
he's
brain
smart.
there.
Yeah, like he can. He's in that ring because he wants to be, bud.
But don't you think after this fight he should say? He probably thinks he just had an off night and he needed more
yeah.
time.
So who did Tyson fight? Tyson fought Roy Jones.
Roy Jones, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, do we lobby like Tyson versus Holyfield? Like,
Tyson will fuck Holyfield up.
possibly.
No, definitely. Tyson looked fantastic.
Tyson did look good. He still got that peekaboo fucking. He still does.
Yeah, bro.
It's crazy.
The thing is,
and
like, that's
even
the
Mike
difference.
Tyson, again, Mike Tyson, perfect example. Mike Tyson does not need the money.
No,
at
especially
all.
no, not now. At one point,
He's
he probably
getting
did, but-
in the ring
yeah.
because he is a lion, right? And that's what these
But
guys
he hasn't.
are.
He's not like he's. Just, I'm not gonna say he's not smart, but like he has a different gear that he still has not lost.
Yeah.
Where Holyfield maybe like he's in good shape and
Yeah.
he's got all that skill that he's developed over the years, but maybe he doesn't have that crazy spark that you need.
Yeah, like that explosion, right? Like that. Yeah, Tyson. Still has
Holyfield
it.
threw a hook and went through the ropes.
Yeah,
he,
it's funny.
He lost
Did you
his
see
balance.
my post on Instagram? I literally posted. I said, "Empty your bank accounts and bet everything on Vitor Belfort."
Really?
I really wrote that on Instagram. Everything you own,
Because he's on all the steroids, or just
all of them. All he puts it all in his
can I have
body.
10% of what he has? Maybe that'll help me.
He's juiced to the gills. But I was watching them warm up, right? And I was watching what made me write the post. I was watching Holyfield, and they do like those filmed warm ups when they're in. Then they do the press around the ring and warming up and in the pads. And dude, Holyfield did not have the snap.
Yeah.
Like you see a snap of a jab.
Yeah.
Like that snap, like when the elbow pops.
Yeah.
Or a hook when that torque is there, and you see the pad, right? And that pad snap.
It sounds different.
It's different. And I saw Holyfield, and I'm like, he does not have it. Belfort is going to kill him.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what happened. Belfort executed.
So I immediately said when the fight was done, and my wife also, like, she watches a little bit of the fights with me, but in reality she wants to not watch the fights, and she's kind of just supportive. And as soon as the fight was done, I'm like, what the fuck would he have done with De La Hoya? He would have fucking killed De La Hoya.
Yeah.
And then my wife's like, nah.
No,
De La Hoya
he
has
would
a
have killed
different-
De La
I'm like,
Hoya too.
No, he would have murdered him.
Dude. Belfort's on all of the juice, right? Like,
And he looked
everything.
good.
And he looked good. He's got the snap. He's on the balls of his feet, right? Like he's moving. He was cutting corners. Like
And he was willing to kill an old man.
Yeah, I mean, look,
He'll kill De La Hoya.
Dude, I good for Belfort too, man. He's out there doing it too. I don't know. He's Brazilian, right?
Yeah.
Like he's probably a national.
He also shouldn't let him talk too much on the mic.
Yeah.
He sounds a little goofy.
That was a little cringy.
Yeah, super cringy.
Yeah.
With his whole family there.
Yeah.
Yo, Jake Paul,
Yeah.
I need to smack
You
you
wanna talk-
on my knee.
Do you want to talk about cringy? Let's talk about Andre after his last fight.
Fuck you, Andre.
Listen, what he was like.
I'm gonna send
Somebody
it.
call Jeff Bezos, right? Somebody call Jeff Bezos because the next person who's getting in his cage, I'm sending him into orbit. He said, but like, so I told him to say it.
Oh, bitch.
I told him to say it. He's in the
You're
hotel.
an asshole.
Listen. We're sitting. He's in the hotel room. We're FaceTiming because we're sweet and we FaceTime each other. He's
With filters?
Yeah. And I'm like, dude, you got to do something that like sets you apart from the rest of the people.
I don't know. Call out Cageside maybe. No, all right, sorry.
You got to do something that sets yourself apart a little bit, you know. And he's like, all right, what am I doing? Tell me what to do. I'm like, when he asked you, because they always do, who do you want to fight next? Say, it doesn't matter because I'm sending them into orbit with Jeff Bezos, right? That was the idea, right? And then it was going to be like a picture of Andre, and it doesn't matter because I'm sending it, right? Like,
Yeah.
Dude goes right into it, no setup, nothing, right? Like you're in podcasting, you know, sometimes you have to set things up. It's like a little bit of a dance
so
we're
it
doing
works.
here, right?
So it works.
So that it's fluid. No setup, nothing. And Felder just left them out there too. Paul just left them like, okay, you're a little excited, Andre. And they know each other. They've trained together before. And Felder just left them out there. And he's jumping around. I'm like, oh, I watch. I'm like, no, what did you just do? Super cringy.
I didn't know it was your fault.
And it's my boy, and I said it. I'm like, oh no.
Is he gonna? Well, first of all, what did he immediately say? What the fuck did I just say? Thanks to you.
No.
He liked it. He was.
No, he didn't care. Look, Andre's cool, man. Like, he's not one to like dwell on something stupid he's done or.
You know, to be
like,
honest,
he's cool with it. And look, it got a little bit like they were putting out like his image with that quote. Like there were a bunch of them out there. I saw them. They were out there. So like. Somebody saw it and somebody shared it.
It was something. Yeah,
it was something. It wasn't much.
You know what's funny? I didn't overthink it too much, but so we were in the DR. I saw the fight. I was like, fuck yeah, that was a great performance. And then like I start moving around or doing whatever, and then I hear that. Yeah, it was kind of like, okay, well.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm hoping my whole family's not paying attention to that part of it because I don't know what he just said. But
nah, yeah, I was happy for him, man.
Yeah,
it's been a long time coming. He looked okay.
He looked great.
He looked okay. It was.
You're being mean. You're bullying you're bullying your little brother.
No. He knows. Like, look, man, we're boys. He kicked his legs a little bit. The dude was kicking his legs a little bit. His legs were hurting.
When he had him on the ground, though, he looked phenomenal.
He did. Well, Andre, when he gets anybody on the ground, he looks phenomenal. That's his pedigree.
His
man.
arms, his punches seemed a little slow to get there towards the end, like, you know.
Yeah, well, and he's talked about this, so he knows like that second round, that 7-minute mark, like he's in the past he's hit this wall because he's finished so many guys before in the first round. Like he hasn't really had to experience a second or third. I think this is the first third round fight he's ever been in.
Okay, I
think it's the first time he's ever seen the third round. I could be wrong, but I think so. And like he got through that, right? Like he broke through that mental. Yeah. And I saw it happen. Yeah. Right? I watched it happen in real time to where like he hit a little bit of it and then like he got that second wind and then he got that takedown in the third. And when he got that takedown in the third, I knew it was a wrap.
Yeah.
Right?
But his arms felt they seemed a little heavy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like when he and I'm thinking like fuck. But then you're right. You saw the burst come out.
I watched it happen in real time. It was cool, man. And I was excited to see him break through that thing that he knew existed. Like he knew that existed going into that fight, right?
Well, that's good.
Like when you know something is a problem, it's hard. It's not easy, right? Like I struggle with the same thing with the cardio. Like when you know that that's a problem, it's a mental game that you have to.
Do you guys not run?
So me personally, I don't run because I'm too big and my body doesn't really handle it very well. So I do the elliptical, and we do a circuit on Saturdays, and there's certain things that I do for my cardio, but running isn't one of them.
I asked because when I told
Andre's going to tell you he runs like
no he didn't. No, that was funny. No, so Andre came over Monday, and Sunday I had ran 6 miles, and I ran 6 miles because I'm doing Broad Street. In October. Okay. So I want to be able to not collapse midway. And I've done Broad Street a bunch of times. So I told him that, and he's like, you ran 6 miles yesterday? You're doing Broad Street? Yeah. And I'm like, kind of thinking like, do you not run, bro?
No.
Like, does he not run?
No, I don't. He'll tell you he runs out. Oh, dude, I did 6 miles. Like, he'll tell you he runs a lot. Maybe he does do a lot of work on the treadmill. He does do like timed runs on the treadmill. Okay. He does time stuff on the bike. He's constantly telling me
he's in great fucking shape. Obviously,
he's in great shape. He's always like, competing with Sean. He's always like, yeah, fucking Sean. And he's like watching Sean's Instagram. Fucking Sean did this. Now I got to get there. Like,
That's hilarious.
he's always like trying to get to where
Can
Sean
I tell you
is.
the two funniest things he made me do, or that he did when he was doing the private? First thing is he grabs the remote for the Apple TV, and I'm like thinking, all right, like I hope I told him right off the bat. I said, listen, I know what I know, and I don't know what I don't know, right? I want to get beat up a little bit. I want to get pushed around. I want to feel like something hard, because then I get excited about it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm going to be fucking bored.
Yeah.
I can work out any other time, I told him that. And then he's like, all right, get on the bike, 5 minutes, warm up while I get up. Like, I get everything else together. All right, cool. So while I see that he goes over there, he's like whispering to the remote. He's like, big booty mix. I'm like, big booty mix? The fuck's he doing? Big booty mix.
Oh,
so he puts
great.
on big booty mix. I'm like, what is this gonna be?
And it's not by accident. It's because he probably listens to Big Booty.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Oh, no, he knew exactly which one it was. He clicked it, and he knew how many views it had, puts it on, and I'm like, okay. No, but we had a great workout. And then at the end, he's like, all right, we're doing abs. I'm like, all right, cool. 8-minute abs. Has he made you do 8-minute abs before?
No.
8-minute abs. I'm like, all right, what the fuck is 8-minute abs? 1994.
Yeah.
That's when the video was made. VHS lines and the whole deal. And he's, I'm gonna do it with you. And we did 8-minute.
How did
fucking
your
abs
abs feel?
Sore as fuck the next
Yeah.
day. It works.
Yeah,
but it was
for
just
sure.
so funny. Like, it's just so him.
Yeah.
Like, big booty mix, 8-minute abs from the 90s.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
like,
great.
I love
Good
this.
for him. Yeah, no, it's
Spandex.
funny,
We're
man.
wearing spandex now.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah.
But anyway, so I've been doing it every day. 8-minute abs.
That's good, man.
We'll see.
That's good.
Listen.
Are you totally changed your diet with the
My wife eats clean as shit. Like, I think,
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's an age thing.
Yeah.
I've been stuck. I've been 216. And no matter what I do, what I eat, what I work out.
Have you researched the ketones thing at all? Have you heard
I tried to do
anything about
keto before.
No,
and
no,
then,
not keto, the ketones.
like
Have you heard
measuring
of-
your ketones?
No. The ketone drink. So
No.
apparently there's a drink where you actually drink ketones. Now, I've heard that it's super expensive.
Okay. I think Rogan's talked about it.
Yeah, but it puts your body into ketosis immediately.
Okay.
Like, you're immediately thrusted into ketosis and your body starts
But we're
eating-
still, so I say no sugar, but we're doing no added sugar. We're still eating fruits and
Yeah.
shit. So we're not in keto.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I feel better. I feel good.
Not good for you. You're better than me, man. I eat like shit.
I feel like shit when I eat
Yeah,
like shit, though.
I
And I
know.
gain weight so fucking quick, too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Dominican Republic, I was like, don't take a fucking photo of
Yeah.
me. There's love hand. There's things
Yeah, I was
happening. I don't
Yeah, the fight was supposed to be November 20th, and I was gonna do it just because fuck it, I'm a fighter and I'm gonna fight,
Yeah.
and I'm short on time, so I'm gonna take every fight I can. But with me being in Barbados, so I get married the 22nd, we leave that next Monday.
Yeah.
I wasn't gonna be back to the following Monday, and it was only gonna leave me like 20 days after being in Barbados to get in
completely
shape.
change your life with eating and all that shit. Yeah.
So it's not happening, which necessarily isn't a bad thing, but
Yeah.
it is what it is. What are you
Yeah,
going to
yeah.
do?
Getting old and food and weight and all that shit is not fun, man.
Yeah, no.
Not fun.
No.
But we'll see. I think Petrosky has a... Is it Petrowski? I call him Petrosky. Puerto Rican...
Andre Petrowski.
Petrowski, you sure?
Yeah,
Petrosky.
Yeah.
Where's the owl coming from?
I don't know. I just always say
Petrosky.
or I call him Dre or retard or fucking whatever.
I always say Petrosky,
Yeah.
and then you say Petrowski. I'm like, what the fuck is that?
Petrowski, yeah.
All right. We're giving him a little too much
Too much
screen
airtime right now.
Yeah,
Too much
yeah,
airtime with
I
him.
don't like it. All right. We done? Wrap this baby up? All right. Awesome.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Of course, brother.
Appreciate it. How long did we go for?
Long as fuck.
Yeah.